Okay, so we're going to do multiplying and dividing fractions. So let's say we have 2 over 5 times 3 over 7. The very first thing that's great, can you see that? The very first thing that's great about multiplying fractions is, or dividing, is I don't have to change the denominator at all. No, it's really straightforward. The only step we have to do is we have to remember the top of the fraction, we multiply the top by the top, and multiply the bottom by the bottom. So, what will the answer to this be?
6 over 35.
Yeah, real easy. Good. Okay. Let's try example 2, a bit harder now. Now I have 4 as a mixed fraction over 2 over 7 times 5 over 1 over 2, let's say. Okay? I have to multiply these numbers. Now, I do have to change it from a mixed fraction. I have to change it from step 1, we'll call it, to what? Change to improper fraction. Okay, so remember our rules for changing to improper fraction. We by the bottom and the top. So what do our new fractions say? What is 4 times 7?
28.
Plus 2?
30 over 7.
30 over 7. Multiplied by 5 times 2 is?
10 times.
And we add
11 over 2.
11 over 2. And now we're back to the straightforward thing we saw from before. Just like in example 1, we multiply the top, multiply the bottom. This one's going to be a little harder. We have some big numbers on the top. Let's do the bottom first.
It's over 14.
Mm-hmm.
But you could reduce.
Okay, let's do that first. How can we reduce it?
You could reduce 230 by 2.
Okay, and what will happen there?
You divide 2 into, divide 2, divide by 2.
That's right. I could reduce this fraction. I could turn that into a 1 and this into a 15. Okay. The only thing is I'm still going to have 15 times 11. So I'm going to show you a little trick here. Actually, it's going to be easier to multiply 30 by 11 mentally. Okay? Because mentally, now, it may not be as far yet, but 30 by 11, what I would do is if I have 30, multiply. You notice I haven't lined this up? I know if there's going to be a 0, I just put a 0 at the end. I don't have to do that. Now all I have to do is 3 by 11. Do you know what 3 by 11 is?
33.
That would have been much easier to do in my head than 11 by 15. 11 by 15, probably couldn't have done it in my head. I would have actually had to write it all out this way. So that's why I liked it this way better with 30 over 11. Okay, so that's a little trick. So, what was 30 times 11? 330. Now I can reduce this. Maybe they tell us to reduce it. I can divide both of them by what?
Divide by 14.
No, 14 won't go in. Let's go with simple, easy numbers. What's an easy one that will go into both of them? 2. Yeah, they're both even numbers, so we can divide both by 2 to reduce. Okay, so the bottom one, what's 14 divided by 2?
7.
Okay, this one's a little harder. We got to do 2 into 330. So that's
1.
ones. Okay. And then we put the 2 below. Subtract.
And you can do that. 36. 1. You bring down the 0. 5.
Hey. 1, 6, 5. And I will quickly tell you that 7 does not go into that. So this is reduced form. That was a big number. I shouldn't have chosen one so big. But does that make sense for multiplying? Essentially what was important here is we have to take our mixed numbers and change them into improper fractions. And once they're improper fractions, we just do the top by the top and bottom by the bottom, and we get our answer. This is technically still a right answer, unless they tell us to reduce it. But otherwise, we've done the right steps. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about division. Okay. Put a new page here. Call this example 3 for division. Division. I think our two numbers were 2, 5, and what did we do? I think 4 by 7. I think that was our first question in the other one. Oops. But I don't want to multiply them instead. Instead, I'm going to divide them. Okay? Now, actually, when we divide, we don't really use the operation of division. We change it into a multiplication question. Okay? What do I have to do to change this to a multiplication question?
Have to flip the second one.
Flip the second one. So if it says 2 over 5 divided by 4 over 7, we're going to flip it. So we keep our first fraction the same, 2 over 5. And now it becomes multiplied by, and instead of 4 over 7, we put 7.
Over 4.
Yeah. And now we're back to a really simple multiplication. Top by the top, bottom by the bottom. So what is 4 times 7?
14.
5 times 4?
20.
Hey, now we're done. I can reduce this.
Yeah, probably 7 over 10.
7 over 10. Excellent. That reduces because I divide the top by 2, and I divided the bottom by 2. Whatever you do the top, you got to do the bottom, right? Easy. Okay, let's do our example 4. Our toughest one. Again, let's use some numbers. I'll use the same ones I used before. What did I use before? I used 4 and 2 over 7, 5 and 1 over 2. So let's use those again. Give me 1 second. So, do you remember what the numbers were? 4 and 2 over 7. This time we're going to do divided by 5, 1 over 2. Okay, step 1 when we do this is to what?
You have to change it into improper.
Change to improper. Very good. So our very first step, let's change it to an improper fraction. 4 times 7 is
28.
Plus 2.
30 over 7.
Just like we had before. Still keep it divided. 5 times 2 is
10.
Plus the 1.
11 over 2.
Good. So we've changed it to an improper fraction. Now we've done step 1. Step 2 is we are going to
have to
flip
second fraction.
Second fraction. Very good. Okay. So what is this question now going to become when we change it? It'll become
20 over 30. Oh, sorry. 30 over 7
times, yeah.
2 over 11.
Good. So we changed the division into a multiplication question, and we flipped it. Oh, I wrote it wrong. Did you notice that? 2 over 11, not 7. All we've done there is we flipped this fraction to get 2 over 11. And now, once again, it becomes an easy multiplication. Top by the top, bottom by the bottom. So 30 by 2.
60.
And 7 by 11.
77.
There we go. There you go. And there's our answer. So that's easy enough for you girls?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's give you a little work with that stuff.